Good Friday morning, everybody. How we
What
doing
up,
today?
everybody? What's going
What
on?
up?
We got EJ and TK with our friend Miss Ward in the house.
All day.
Freestyle Friday.
Hope everybody's had a
All
good
day.
week this week. Um, and looking forward to the weekend because I don't know about you guys, but I need a day off or two, kind of recoup.
I, I'll tell you this. Dave Ramsey says that we need to get out of the "thank God it's Friday, oh God it's Monday" mentality. And I know you're not talking about that right now, TK. But right now, I'm in that zone where I need to be. I'm ready for a day off, but I'm I'm rolling right now. I'm on a roll. I want to keep on going. Uh, we're busy making some moves in the business, positive moves. This week's tried to knock me off the horse, and I'm hanging on the side of it, saying I ain't gonna quit. Uh, I'm ready.
Yeah,
Adam, what's
absolutely.
up?
And I think for most business owners, the weekend is a time, whether you're working or not working, the weekend is a time for me to number one spend time with my family because that's the most important thing to me. But also to really get prepared for the next week.
Yeah,
Um, One thing I've been doing here lately is making to-do lists for different aspects of my business, my personal life, etc. Um, Miss Ward turned me on to the Atomic Habits book. And let me tell you, boy, that thing, I'm only in chapter 3, but I'm fired up, man. I'm ready. I'm ready to change some things. I'm ready to do better. And I'm a list person. If I have a list and I can mark things off of it, little tiny improvements, little
yep.
tiny adjustments, little tiny habits changing each day. Um, it's so rewarding for me. So I've been doing that a lot, and the weekend a lot of times is that time for me to go over the list, review what I did this week, what I didn't get to, prioritize for the next week. So yeah, the weekends are so important, man, and that Sabbath rest, whatever your faith is, that Sabbath rest is important. You need a day. I think God gave us an example for that, and I think it's important that we have that Sabbath rest to just relax and not worry and spend time with family or whatever you do, whether it's Saturday, which is the true Sabbath, or whether you do it on Sunday, which a lot of people consider the Lord's Day. I think that day of rest is important, and we just recently found a new church, so we're super excited about that. It's a home church. They meet for worship once a week as a congregation, but there's no like preaching or anything. But the church part of it is done in different homes throughout our community. And we just started doing that. And man, let me tell you, it is really cool.
Hmm, that sounds interesting, man. Miss Ward, how do you get your rest
Yeah.
in?
Well, I love what TK said because fellowship is so important, and I think that you have to find the fellowship that works with you. You know, I don't know. Rest is an interesting thing for me because I'm always I'm always one of those people that feel like I have so much to do and so little time to do it. So for me, my rest is always a mental situation where I have an opportunity to meditate, center myself, because I understand that I am the problem and the solution. You know. So like
Yeah.
yesterday, I had an LG, and I mean, I was in tears. Oh, and then I had to remember, you're a welder. Like 20 years ago, you were like the best welder in the world. So you better figure it out. And but it's wonderful to come to a place where you can rest and rise to the occasion, stay humble about it, and realize that it wasn't you that did it. It was your faith that brought you not only through. And I just don't think that we take time enough to thank, God for the little things, because it's the little things that make it happen. I had one of them days yesterday, and I was just, ooh, it wasn't a bad day. It was just that I had to face some fears, and they were fears that were really false evidence appearing real. It was, if I swear, if that didn't come to pass yesterday for me, it did. You know. So,
I didn't know Miss Ward had fears.
oh
You're like
yeah,
superhuman, ain't you?
man. I tell that man, you ain't been watching them videos. How many times I say, I'm talking to me.
I know it. I was watching you this morning. Your video you was on the treadmill. I was like, man, she's getting it. She's doing too much. Uh, but speaking of thanking God, would you like to do the prayer, Miss Ward?
Sure, absolutely. Lord, thank you for blessing us. Lord, thank you for helping us to understand what humility really means. Less of us and more of you. Thank you for guidance today with every step, every thought, and every choice. Amen.
Amen.
So that's all I got for you, man. Pure as I could be.
You
That
know,
was a good. That was
there's
good.
there's no right or wrong way to pray, and that's what we get. Some people every now and again when we ask them if they want to come on, they're like, "Hey, I don't know how to pray." And I'm like, well, hey, there's you just talk to God, say thank you. Yeah, it's that simple. So, reminder that today is Freestyle Friday, which means
Whoop, whoop.
you control the topic. So drop your
That's right.
questions in the chat, and but we'll start the conversation. I had something on my mind, and we need to get something off of TK's mind. And Miss Ward, you made a video, I think today or yesterday, about measuring stuff in your business. And I'm reading the book, Measure What Matters, right now. KPIs, OKRs, and I've been focused on efficiencies and cutting waste out of our business. Wasted money, wasted time, wasted energy, uh, all this stuff. So this week I've been focused on the dollars. We've been really looking at uh, the dollars that come in all last year, and there's such a thing that you can do in businesses where you try to out earn your mistakes. It really happens in sales a lot. You try to outsell your mistakes. Maybe you drop the ball for a couple weeks, and then you got to really try to make up for it. And then sometimes that extra effort is forced, and it just starts getting sloppy. And yes, so we have Hollywood in the house. Uh, so this year and this week specifically, I've been looking at the other side of the dollars. You know, not just the money coming in, but keeping it. So I've made a list of all of the expenses that come out of the business account each month and what day of the week they come out, and made a list of suspects that got to go. And all week I've been cutting them. That's why, man. Yesterday I had a good day. I cut $430 of unnecessary expenses monthly out, and it was simple, easy stuff that I didn't need to have. I've got another $150, $200 monthly bill coming up next week that I'm going to tackle. So,
Do you mind
measuring,
sharing with us what type of stuff you were cutting, EJ?
well, it's mistakes. So one of the easy ones was I have an open phone account for an extra phone number for my Lexington office. And somehow I ended up with 2 users on the plan and on a premium plan. Those 2 users, they were both me. I'm paying $25 a month for each of me, and somehow I ended up on the premium plan. And I don't even use Open Phone. It's a phone number that gets ported to my office help. I don't need any of the features. I just need the phone number and forward it. So I was able to save $40 a month by fixing that plan. And, I've been paying $50 a month for over a year. And every time the bill would come through, I'd say, "Gosh, that used to be $10. Why is it 50? I need to fix that." And then, whoop, squirrel. Uh, and you got to get that focus. Uh, another one, Miss Ward, hold your ears. I cut my unused gym memberships. I had $90 of monthly gym memberships that was coming out again every month. I said, "Oh, I don't even go to the gym." So for a year, I've paid for $90 a month in gym memberships, and I've been 4 times.
Those are expensive gym chips, man.
Yes.
You're
So
rolling about $250 per trip.
right. So the point is, these ain't big mind blowing secrets here, but the key to it is pay attention. Pay attention and focus. Uh, I'm starting to look at how can I make my business more profitable by building assets that give me leverage to grow. And that's why I took that deep dive look and I said, I'm dedicating this week to cutting the crap. So, and you mentioned in one of the videos, Miss Warden, I'm going to stop talking because I've been talking long enough. Checking your advertisements. If you have advertisements that's not working, but you're paying for it. Like the big one, TK, was last year I ended up on Angie ads. It was a moment of weakness. I did negotiate a term of $300 a month, and I tried to cancel it on month 2, but they got me on the contract. They got me on that contract, and I had to do a year. And that year would have automatically renewed on March 1st had I not called this week. So I've been paying $300 a month for a year. And I don't need them. I've got plenty of calls. And that's money I'm wasting. Yes, Saul. I am wrong for a gym membership. I don't need to have gym memberships. Thank you. I'm gonna read that the way I need it to be. Gym memberships are a waste. We got question maybe? Miss Ward, I know you were talking about having customers send you pictures and model and serial numbers. Have you ever called the customer back and said that wasn't the call for you?
Yeah, I mean, everything I do is, I have transactional situations. So, prime example, the purpose of me having them send that to me is so I can gauge the situation. I'm looking at the surroundings. I'm looking at how difficult it is to get the unit out. I'm looking at how cooperative the client is. I was just talking to one of my coaching students, and I was explaining to them, you're gauging this customer at all points to see if they are your caliber client. If they're not your caliber client, you can politely recommend them to one of your friendly competitors. You feel me?
Yeah.
There's a way to handle everything because I don't understand why people feel they got to take everything. Everything is not for you. If I'm looking and it's like laundry and everything sitting in front of the fridge and roaches crawling around, I'm not going there. You know what I'm saying? At the same time, I'm looking at my schedule and I'm looking at my ROI, profit. I focus on refrigeration, something I can get money out, I can get profit out of. I already can gauge. Like if I'm going to work on a Samsung and I know they got the issue going with the ice buildup in the back, I already know my profit off the rip. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I know how long it's going to take me to turn that profit. And that's how I approach everything. Like this morning, I have a KitchenAid. I got a GE. GE not cooling. We all know that's usually that fan situation for the French doors. I'm already prepared that. I got my scanner with me, so I'm finna hit them where it hurts. with my program updates. Like my process is straight profit. So that's why I request those items, and I request them in text form. Now I do have elderly customers that can't, they can't do it. So of course, I have to, do my charity work and
Mm-hmm.
stay on the good side of God. But I'm a businesswoman first. I had one of my students come to me and said they wanted to go to Choice Hotels to see if they could do the ice machines. And because they heard about commercial, blah, blah. I said, you really gung ho about commercial? I said, do you know if Choice pays their bills?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, y'all jumping in areas and and you don't even understand the people you don't get in business with. First thing I want to know is you pay your bills. I'm not knocking Choice, but we all know. Anybody know about Choice Hotels? It's Comfort Suites, Motel 6, Studio 6, and something else. And I'm not knocking them, but hey, I'm just saying.
That's
So
Yeah.
for
I'm
sure.
a businesswoman. Every approach I do, any question you can ask EJ, and to any question you ask me, the response is the business angle first, and then the profit.
Yeah. Keep the emotions out of it.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think everybody out there needs to know what what their target appliances are. Not just your target market, your target customer, but if you're getting stuff coming across your schedule and it's not profitable, then and it all depends on your business plan. Miss Ward has a specific business plan where she is targeting specific jobs for specific clientele. My company has a specific business plan where we have a specific way we do things, and certain customers just aren't for us. And we'll work on any appliance, but at the end of the day, when we're in there, our goal is to be as efficient as possible, get them taken care of as quickly and professionally as possible. And there's sometimes when you go in there and you can see right out the gate that it's not going to be a profitable job, or you can see even before you get there. When Beth takes the call, every once in a while she'll call me and she'll say, "TK, the red flags are going up on this one." And I 100% trust her discernment. And I say, well, Beth, do what you got to do. And she weeds them out. She pushes them on. She'll send them to a competitor or whatever. And sometimes that person or that job is just not a good fit for you. And I think that's a skill within itself, being able to discern that and know, because you need to do it quickly, especially if you're the technician at the house. If you're there, you need to be able to discern really quickly, like, hey, this isn't a good one for me. I need to cut my losses here and move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Pivot.
And
Pivot.
that doesn't need to be abused either. So don't
Mm-hmm.
don't understand that just because it's not a fun job don't mean you run. You'll get that reputation quick. So
Mm-hmm.
here's a thought. Uh, I just sent in an updated script to my office help for that situation exactly. I think I mentioned it last week, but last week we had a customer that kind of bullied one of the CSRs. Like they not really bullying, but they would. I think they got intimidated, and because they were a little forceful, and that's not normal for my area. You
Mm-hmm.
know, most people here are nice, uh, and not so demanding. So I have a script here. I'll read. It's just a couple of sentences. Uh, it don't really seem like we are going to be the best company to help you. Let me get you a number to a company better suited to meet your needs. And I gave them that empowerment like you're talking about, TK. I said, look, this is a slow month for us, but we don't need that crap. If you guys don't feel comfortable and respected after minimal redirection, because you do have to have that empathy. Uh, for this customer, their world could be falling to pieces all around you. So I'll give them a chance or two. But if you don't feel comfortable and you feel like that customer is not going to be accepting of any thing that you do, then feel free to take that line from me. I'll read it
Mhm.
one more time. It really don't seem like we're going to be the best company to help you. Let me get you a number to a company better suited to your needs, and have referrals. Have a network. What's yours?
Facts.
I hate how these comments cover up your face. Before, sorry about that.
Yesterday, I had scheduled an appointment for 1 p.m., called the customer 30 minutes out, and they said great, but when the technician arrived, Mr. Appliance was there. Customer didn't answer the door or phone. How do y'all handle it? Bill them. Send them a missed appointment. Just what Kirk just said. Send
Yep.
them and then you need to have the proper processes in place within your scheduling software that when someone does that, you bill them, they don't pay it, and they don't get scheduled again until they do pay it. And for me, that's not my customer. If you're gonna go back and forth and
That part.
if you're gonna have Mr. Appliance there and you called me out and you're gonna waste my time and you don't respect me, you're on the DNS and have a nice life. I got way too much work to be sitting around. Uh, and after, yeah, I'm not gonna say nothing about Mr. Appliance. Shout out to Mr. Appliance.
Hey, the Mister Appliance where I'm at. Shout out to Stephen Hughes.
Yeah,
Solid, solid,
solid
solid
dude right
company.
there.
But this is funny. Has anybody had that situation happen? Now, have you ever showed up?
You
Yeah.
wrong, Joe. You wrong, man.
Has anybody ever been at a house where another appliance repair guy showed up while you were there, or showed up while somebody else was there? I've had that one time,
Me too.
and the one time for me was I was doing a warranty call on a Samsung dryer, but they had a GE washer next to them, and that was also down. So GE got the GE washer, and I got the Samsung dryer, and he showed up while I was putting the machine back together. So I got a picture of both of our vans sitting out front. It was funny.
I
Like, this
I had
never
I had the exact same thing, EJ. I was running a warranty call when I first started, and I'm not sure why, but they had another person scheduled for the microwave, and I was there, I think, for the refrigerator. Like I walk in, I get started, and she was like, "There's another guy coming to look at the microwave," and I was like, "Why?" And she was like, "Well, they just scheduled somebody,"
happened.
and he had already been out and diagnosed it, um, and he was coming back for a return trip. And I chatted with the guy. He seemed like a pretty nice fella. He didn't seem like he 100% really knew microwaves because he was putting several parts on. Like he came in with a grocery bag full of parts, and I'm like, dude, I've never put that many parts on a microwave. Did you just order everything? But he seemed like a nice guy. We exchanged business cards, and I never heard from him again. But yeah, it is awkward. But for when that type of thing happens, just be cordial with them, and you never know. That might be a person that you might want to network with. They might be a great technician or someone that you could help, or they could help you or whatever. So um,
Absolutely.
yeah, it happens. How about you, Miss Ward? You ever had that happen to you?
I got to think about it, man, because I got that spidey sense. First of all, when I even get that kind of energy from a customer, because see, usually you can always see the desperate customers. Like there have been areas I've been in that customers have had such negative experiences with techs where they're doing multiple appointments because half the guys don't even show up. I mean, those situations when I first started, but I kind of weeded out. You know what I mean? Like I'm not in those areas with that clientele, so. I really haven't had those. The things that kill me is when you come in after some guy came or girl came in and butchered it, or the customer had a negative experience, and then you got to be like Florence Nightingale and throw bandages over the drama just so they can feel and understand the quality and the caliber of tech you are, which is why I charge what I charge because I know how many people are just garbage. I'm just real about it. That's why you'll hear me use the word elite in my name in the same sentence, because it ain't that far to go. I mean, it just is what it is, man. But I want us to hit that thing that Doug said about the 24% and the credit card, how that can, and this is why I'm such a big proponent of business credit, because like a lot of stuff, I will put on my business credit cards a year in advance, like my subscriptions and things like that. And I get a huge discount because I'm controlling the expenses, which goes back to what you're doing with the numbers, EJ, and the back end of operations. See, people, this is why I tell people, if you ever work in corporate environments, the operations and sales departments never get along, because the operations department is going to look at something and they're going to see waste. And the sales department is going to look at something and say, oh, I locked that sale in. And then the operations guy is going to be like, but you ain't got no damn profit. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather have it in because their whole thing is, if you got $1,000 sale, the operations guy will take a $500 sale with $400 profit over $1,000 sale with $900 profit. You feel me? I mean, $900, $100 profit. And
Yeah.
that's what I think a lot of people miss. They be in the excitement of the sale and getting the job, and then they don't realize the shipping, the cost of the parts, the labor, and the time involved. This is where true business and balance comes into play. Period.
Absolutely. I know you guys got a hard stop
Mhm.
at 30 minutes. I was going to share a quick hack job that we just found last week or this week. Terry went to a refrigerator call that had a bad defrost heater. It was a Whirlpool heater, and somebody had put in a double GE heater in place of it. Like,
What?
cut all the wires out. You know, the two heaters, the two glass
Yeah, I
heaters.
know exactly what you're talking
They,
about. But
they
what?
were they were together at the bottom of the evap and just hanging there because it wasn't made for it. Wow. So
That's the
anyway,
guy. That's the guy that can do it cheaper.
Facts.
so thank you guys for joining us today. We got to get these two out of here, so I'm going to as well. Enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend, and get out there and make some moves, elevating the industry.
Love y'all. Peace.
Peace.